Hello, I'm Jay Dutch and welcome to Dogstar Gaming. In today's video we'll be reviewing Deadpool, played on the Xbox One. We'll be breaking the game down into 4 parts: story, gameplay, level design and graphics and sound, and giving our final score out of 10. With that being said, let's get started. So Deadpool is an anti-hero action comedy beat 'em up video game based on the Marvel Comics character with health regenerating powers. I really didn't know anything about this game or the character before playing it. I just saw the trailer and was immediately taken in by how much fun it looked, but also the character Deadpool himself. So I was ready for a lot of craziness. So with that, let's get started with the story. So I want to say, I think the story, it's not really important in this type of game. It's more about the actual gameplay and the outright wildness of Deadpool. I say that because if you're looking for a story-driven game such as Batman, this is not it. But that's exactly why this is a good game. The story is basically Deadpool creating his own video game and then playing through it, trying to catch up with the bad guy Sinister. Along the way you meet a few of Marvel's other characters such as Wolverine and a few of the other X-Men. Towards the end of the game, I felt like I had had enough, but it ended just before it became a problem. With an average playtime of around 8 hours, which was full of laughs and crazy cutscenes that really showed off Deadpool's personalities. There were some really funny moments in this game. The constant arguing of Deadpool's thoughts does get a bit repetitive, but when at points the game runs out of funds for some levels, it produces some great moments. That brings me on to my next point, gameplay. This for me was the biggest part of the game. The beat 'em up combo based fighting system was very smooth, making combo chains easy to link, and with 4 melee weapons and 4 guns to choose from, each with a bunch of upgrades, there were a few ways to mix up your attacks, but it did get a bit repetitive also. You have a momentum meter you have to fill up as you build your combos to unleash a multi-target special attack. There are only really 5 enemies with all different attacks, but the game does get very difficult towards the end, with multiple enemies and checkpoints not too close together. There's a lot of fun to be had in this game, and that has a lot to do with the fighting system, as you tear through a ton of enemies. Also, each time you meet a new character you're able to press a button and watch a small backstory on them, which I thought was a great touch. Next we'll talk about level design. The levels were, to be honest, nothing special. Nothing really stood out. I did enjoy the space of each location. You were never cramped, always able to fight freely, but that was it really. There were some interesting platforming sections, but they were all really short and again, nothing spectacular. And without the constant jokes and wave of attackers, the bland setting would have stood out more, but I guess in this type of game that's about constant laughs and action, it can be overlooked. Now on to our final point, graphics and sound. The graphics were okay, again nothing amazing but acceptable. It played very smooth even when multiple enemies were on screen, and again it suited the game. I enjoyed the way Deadpool's outfit would tear and rip as you received damage, and the sound on the other hand was very good, especially the characters' voices. All of them were delivered spot on and made the cutscenes great to watch. So for our final verdict on Deadpool, I have to say it was disappointing. It started with a bang, but all of those things that made the game great to begin with ended up being its downfall. The constant repetitive comments made by Deadpool, and worst of all, the constant recycling of enemies and bosses. There was no replay value in this for me, with everything for my weapons unlocked in one playthrough. The game was very easy for most of it, but then there's a huge difficulty spike at the end, which can be really frustrating. So with that, we'll be giving Deadpool a 6 out of 10. It was really fun for the most point, but you do get a feeling there just wasn't much love or budget for the latter part. I feel this does get an extra point just for the character Deadpool himself. He's a great character, he's really funny, and I'm sure when the movie comes out it's going to be great to see. I hope you enjoyed our review. Please let us know in the comments if you've played Deadpool and what you thought of it. Hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for more gaming news and reviews. Until next time, take care.